I can't believe the Trump campaign is saying Tim Walz never had a real job. He was in the military, taught in a public school, and served in Congress. I guess he's just trying to distract from all the great proposals coming from Harrison Walz.
You want policies. Trump's got policies.
Excuse me? What policies? He's just saying words over and over again and then says economy. Kamala Harris is laying down a plan to turn policy into action.
Joy is not a strategy.
And who cares? At least she's actually making us feel a positive human emotion while trying to help Americans. What's gotten into you, Simon?
Huh? What are you talking about?
What are all those things you were saying?
Sorry, I was just reading New York Times headlines.
Oh, well, that actually makes sense. Welcome to Felt the Nation. I'm Kendra Sooth.
And I'm Simon Socks. Just moments ago, the Labor Department released its latest job numbers, capping a month of major economic gains and a huge climb in the stock market, where the Dow Jones sits at an all-time high. Turns out, this summer, the only Kamala crash that was real was me crashing my Mitsubishi into a guardrail while I was trying to record a music video called Comma Chameleon.
And thus a new viral trend was almost born.
Comma, chameleon.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump's Project 2025 is promising a tax increase on middle-class families.
Come again?
Under the Project 2025 Trump tax plan, a middle-class family may get a $3,900 annual tax increase, while a family making $5 million would get a $325,000 tax cut.
I have a journalism question, Kendra. Why did Project 2025 write all this stuff down and publish it? Wouldn't they want to keep it secret until they come into power?
Unfortunately, MAGA Republicans are not great at keeping secrets. Like how Trump keeps bragging that he overturned Roe v. Wade, they just don't know how to say any part quiet.
And speaking of abortion rights, the Harris campaign launched a bus tour in Trump's hometown of Palm Beach, Florida this week called Fighting for Reproductive Freedom. And our sociable, so chill correspondent, Bugsy Morales, has been riding along all week. Bugsy, how's the open road?
Hey, so now this is what that traditional journalism I've been hearing about is all cracked up to be. We're living out of a suitcase, eating trail mix made by Doug Emhoff, and roughing it out in the wild. Oh, the other day, I had to eat at what the natives here call a diner. This is Pulitzer stuff, guys.
Well, I don't think they give Pulitzers for TV news, Bugsy.
Okay, Peabody then.
Nobody knows.
Well, anyway, it has been great. It's like Warped Tour 99, but with, more diversity.
Oh, okay, Bugsy. Well, what have the candidates been saying on the tour?
Okay, so the energy here is just wild. They are making 50 stops over the next couple of months with them and surrogates hammering their promise to restore protections for women's rights that were in Roe v. Wade.
Bugsy, with all this focus on women's issues, what has the response been from the Trump campaign? How are they finding women and grabbing them by the votes?
Oh, well, it's a little confusing because Trump keeps lying about Democrats' proposals to protect access to abortion, even though he just doubled down on his anti-abortion views by saying he supports Florida's abortion ban.
Well, so to be clear, what is Trump's position on overturning Roe?
Okay, well, right now, he is super proud of doing it. He just doesn't want to remind anybody, given that it's unpopular with the majority of Americans.
Just like every insurrectionist on a dating profile.
Okay, Kendra. But he's also saying that the states are doing a great job passing their own abortion bans in the aftermath of the mess left by the Dobbs decision.
And in many ways, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Oh, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, it sure is. That's why I cross-posted it to my Halloween playlist.
Oh, Bugsy, you have to invite me to your party this year. I don't know why you wouldn't let me in last time.
Because you have to wear a costume!
I was 1949 NBC News anchorman John Cameron Swayze!
Simon, you have to dress as someone that people know. But that name does sound like a serial killer's name. Okay, I'll think about it.
We actually do have another scary story to report. The MAGA Republican effort to ban books across the country is picking up at the local level. The latest example is in Nebraska, where the newest member to the state's library commission is a former school board member, removed from office after trying to ban more than 50 books.
Honestly, where were all these book banners when I was in school? I hated summer reading. But you know who loved to read? John Cameron Swayze.
Well, our national correspondent, Blitz Vester, is in Lincoln, Nebraska. Well, at least I think he is. Blitz?
Yeah, Kendra, I'm here in Nebraska, where the MAGA Republican governor just appointed a book banner to the Library Commission. I looked into it, and some of the books she tried to ban were novels like The Handmaid's Tale and The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and other books involving themes of race, sexuality, and addiction. You know, the things children should learn about.
Well, does that mean Nebraska state libraries are going to get rid of all these books?
I don't know, Kendra, but I'm not waiting to find out. Reading is fundamental. Honestly, reading is the most punk rock thing you could do. You ever read Catcher in the Rye? God damn! Sorry. So anyway, I used our reporting budget to open up a little speakeasy here where kids can still get a dose of that elegant writing before the MAGA Republicans burn all the good stuff.
Blitz, I'm not sure I approve of this ethically.
But Simon, what if I told you it could get us a Peabody Award?
Well, then let's put out a press release already.
All right! Welcome to the Geekeasy! All right, kids, now remember, you're all here because your parents gave you express permission to educate yourselves.
Quit stalling and give us our supplies already.
Whoa, okay, let's do it. I've got a hot one from 2020. This was a children's book bestseller straight from the National Book Award winner Ibram X. Kendi. It's called Anti-Racist Baby. Who wants it?
Me!
Yeah, take it and go tell everybody what's inside. All right, this next book here is great because it has new words for farts. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But it will expand your vocabulary to be more tolerant of others.
Oh, wait, I'll take it.
Sure, go for it. Off you go. And don't be afraid to challenge your preconceived notions. Finally, we've got a classic. A real one. A formative journey through friendship, innocence, and life and death itself. Banned in Kansas because conservatives say it was unnatural to portray talking animals. Your favorite childhood book, Charlotte's Web.
Can I have it?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Of course! Take it and run! Run and read and write, and then reread it, and then write your own fanfic about it, and then post it online and hope a literary agent sees it, and then you can look for his email on a publicly available database and email it to him! You are the future! I love my job.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Blitz. You've inspired me. One of these days, I promise, I will read a book.
It's a miracle you can read a teleprompter. Next in news, Republicans are taking new legislative steps to make it harder for trans and non-binary Americans to vote. This comes at the heel of increased MAGA Republican attacks on LGBTQ plus American rights on both a state and federal level. Here to discuss the effects of such policies is legislative activist Kate Smith, the LGBTQI plus policy director at CAP Action. Kate, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Can you explain the chilling effects of these policies?
Yeah, absolutely. These are really harmful policies that we're seeing from Republicans across the country. They're doing things like making it harder to access medical care. We just saw recently in Texas and in Missouri a policy that makes it harder for trans Americans to change their driver's licenses, which can impact things like driving and even voting. So these policies are not only impacting how folks are moving about in their community, but just being able to exist and thrive, which is really scary.
It seems like MAGA Republican after MAGA Republican has come out trying to ban health care and education for LGBT LGBTQI plus Americans, especially young ones. Can you talk about what that means for alphabetic Americans in different states?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really, really scary and concerning is that most of these attacks that we're seeing are actually focused on LGBTQI plus youth. I have a visual aid to show you if that's helpful.
Yes.
I love prompts.
So something that's really scary that we're seeing from Republicans is attempts to ban access to best practice transgender medical care for youth. There's actually 26 states that have passed a ban on this best practice care or a restriction. This really started a couple years ago when we saw Arkansas pass a law banning this really important care that's life-saving for LGBT and particularly transgender young people. And in the past couple of years, we've seen dozens of these states pass laws banning care. It's really important to note that this care is life-saving.
Are there going to be any left?
There's a few left, but most states have passed this type of legislation somehow. So yeah, this is really scary, but there's some good news. Some states have passed laws protecting access to trans medical care for youth. One really great example here is Minnesota, where Governor Walz signed into law what we call a shield law protecting trans medical care access. They've also passed bans on conversion therapy to youth and other really exciting pieces of legislation that are helpful for our community.
Kate, I read things that say Project 2025 wants to deny the existence of transgender people. Is that honestly the case? It sounds very dystopian and not in the cool Apple TV Plus original series way.
It sounds super dystopian, and unfortunately, it is true. Project 2025 seeks to delete the words gender identity and sexual orientation from the law. It really is really scary and very dystopian, but true, unfortunately. And something important to note is that the questions about if these anti-LGBT policies are constitutional are very likely going to go to the Supreme Court. If we see a Trump presidency, we will probably see a 7-2 MAGA Republican majority on the court making these types of decisions about LGBTQ rights and all of our rights. It's really what's at stake is our freedoms, and we just can't see our freedoms ripped away.
Very insightful. Kate, thank you for joining us in our studio today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching Filth the Nation. I'm Kendra Sooth.
And I'm Simon Socks. Can somebody get me a library card?
Oh.
I'm going to have to learn where these states go.
Well, let's do it together.
Which one? That one? I'm torn on this debate about the microphones. I know it's silly, but unlike policy discussions, this is something I understand.
I don't know, I feel like we should just, leave them on. It's just weird to see people's mouth move and nothing comes out.
Same. The media should show what he's actually trying to do. Disrupt the debate and lie about Harris's policies.
But he's so loud all the time, and sometimes I just want to turn on the TV and fall asleep.
This isn't Mayor of Kingstown. You have to stay up and watch the debate.
Oh, no, that's what you all are for. Why would I stay up if you guys can tell me what happened in the morning?
Okay, first of all, as journalists, it is our responsibility.
Mute!
Oh.
What? What was that, Bugsy? What was that again?
What the hell, Simon? You're being unreasonable, man. I mean, for real. I just
Mute!
can't.
La, 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 la. I can't hear you.
But Simon, cut it out. This is serious.
What was that again? What? Peaceful. I'm glad we all agree.